So I just wanted to add a few more comments about the print statement. First of all, a few things that I've noticed students do, and I want you to, I want to tell you the way of doing it. So let's say you have two numbers, right? A equals 10 and B equals 15. What you can do is now, if I just run this part, right? Let's just take this code and run this. Now you can see that we get A equals 10 and B equals 15. So both of the statements, both of the print statements print the same thing, essentially the same thing, except for the spacing, right? Which we can, play around with the sep parameter. But the point over here is that you can use these two ways. So over here, let's look at the difference. I'm printing out A equals, and I'm using commas over here. A equals 10, right? And then I'm using and, right? I have some additional spaces over here, so we can reduce that by getting rid of it if you want. And then I'm using commas to separate out the string and the value. Now over here, I'm concatenating, right? So this is a string. This is string concatenation. So some students, for some reason stick to this method, and I believe that this method is better in the way that there's less code. You don't have to add str function to all the numbers, right? If you want, you can use this. You can keep on using this, but if you ask me, then I would suggest strongly use this, because this creates a lot of problems also later on, because sometimes students forget the str function and you get tons and tons of errors, syntax errors. So stick to this method with the print statement when you have string combinations of strings and numbers to print out. Okay, so that's about that. And one more thing that I want to show you is how to, there's one more way you can manipulate the numbers that you want to print out, and that's pretty neat in Python. So let's say you want to print out dates, right? So this is day, this is month, this is year. Okay, now what you can do is you can use this format. So we've looked at the format method. You print out a string and then use dot format and then the day, month, and year. Now you notice these curly braces. Python treats these curly braces in a particular manner. So what Python does is it basically replaces the day with the first curly braces. So first curly braces, day is going to be placed. The second curly braces, month is going to be placed, and the third curly braces, year is going to be placed. And by default, these numbers are assigned in the following way. So the first line is the same as the second line, but these numbers are the default values. Even if you don't type them, Python is assuming that this is the sequence. So 0 is for day, 1 is for month, and 2 is for a year. Now what you can do is the good thing is, the interesting thing about this is you can manipulate these numbers. You can replace, you can put the 1 over here and the 0 and the 2. So notice what happens is, if we do that, let's run this. So now you can see, this is just ignore, this is the previous one. Now you can see for the third output, for the third line, it has printed out the month first, the date next, and the year. So month, date. So just by manipulating these numbers, you can print out what you want, even though the sequence is the same over here. But since this has index 1, Python is going to print the month first, and then the day second, and the year the third. Similarly, if you want to print the year first, the day, the month second, and the third is going to be the day. You can completely you can write the numbers in opposite sequence. So 2, 1, 0. You can see that over here we have a different sequence of date, where the year is first, and the month is second, and the date is the last.